Shot less than 30%. He also defends exponentially better than Russ. No funny. I'm glad you're bringing up shooting percentages and then wanting a boost for Russell Westbrook. Never mind. You put that together. 80 over 80. That's 80 at 10. I mean, where do you want him to go? 20. 80 was giving niggas 34 with the backbone connected to the neck bone, the neck bone connected to the, like, he was out there wilding. I think KD can be anywhere from 1 to 7. Look, I know niggas like to argue, but that's insane.
Number 5, Stephen Curry.
Okay.
Number 4, LeBron James.
Okay.
Number 3, Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
Me and my niggas, you know we got that. They say, why you too hype, bitch? I feel like I'm amped up.
My man BSOLZ just casually dropping the top 50. Hey. You picked the right day, my boy. You picked the right day. Derek dropping them all. Appreciate the follow. And then on top of that, chat, we got these two. So we just gonna have a bunch of lists. Let's see what these niggas are talking about, chat. Oh, fuck, spotlight shirt.
As another NBA season comes to a close, it has everyone reevaluating the NBA landscape and where certain players rank. As subjective as it is, these conversations are just commonplace in our community.
Right.
And as I do every single year, it is time for me to do my own top 50.
That nigga dropped.
Now I know.
Kelly with the gifted again, specifically to Eli. That's hilarious.
That's okay. It's my list. Hope y'all enjoyed the show.
Wait, what'd he say?
And that's top 50 list. Now I know. I can't please everyone, and that's okay. That's okay. It's my list.
And that's what people need to recognize off the rip. I ain't standing him because he my damn near my mentor, my keep it a buck brother. I ain't doing that shit because of that. I'm keeping it a whole 100 with you niggas. I already done told the chat, and I'ma say it again right here in case this goes on YouTube. Nigga, my intro gonna be on the most ghetto shit ever. I'm gonna be like, look, bro, we not gonna agree. There's no way we have the exact same top 20. It's already rare enough to have the same top 10 of a nigga. How many niggas got the same top 5? Not that many. Let alone 20, let alone fucking 50. You ain't gonna win. So how about you get it out your ass? Just listen to what the fuck I gotta say. I'ma explain myself, and we gonna keep it pushing enjoy the fucking video, bitch. Shout out my dog. Hopefully they ain't on your dick.
Hope y'all enjoyed the show, but just a couple of
Let's just say some bullshit. Then I ain't gonna lie. I'ma say something, but hey, we'll see what you talking about.
Number 1, I can't rank Klay Thompson. This list is assuming everyone is fully healthy, but I just can't rank Klay Thompson.
We be that sage and sub. Appreciate that, my boy.
I just
shout out everybody who say birthday if I don't catch all you niggas. Appreciate that shit.
Players belong in rather than the actual order itself, because I understand that a lot of these spots are extremely debatable. Also, just keep in mind, if there are 2 players and one is at the end of a tier and another is at the beginning of another, that probably still means they're interchangeable even if I have them in 2 different tiers. But with that being said, let's start it off, man. Let's start it off 50 through 41. At number 50, we have Fred VanVleet.
Okay.
49, Michael Porter Jr.
Okay.
48, Miles Turner.
Okay.
47, Ben Simmons. 46, Pascal Siakam. 45, Tobias Harris.
I'm gonna let him finish what I say what I gotta say.
44, Draymond Green. 43, CJ McCollum. 42, Malcolm Brogdon. And 41, DeMar DeRozan. So
there's no damn Kelly. God dang, what's that, 7? Shit. Fred VanVleet, he's pretty under the radar. He's actually not that shit defensively, yada, yada, yada. So I'm not shocked that he's here. MPJ, ascending talent, ain't mad at it. Miles Turner over MPJ, ain't really tweaking that much. It's crazy that Simmons is now there, bro. That's so wild. A year ago, this nigga Simmons, bro, a year ago, chat, you would think minimum 30. Damn, and I bet this ain't even making niggas mad for real. That's the worst part. It ain't making me mad either. I ain't gonna lie, that shit's wild. Spicy P, Tobias Harris, you can go back and forth with it. I don't really care. Draymond, I do think is better than everybody to the right so far. CJ, Malcolm, they're all pretty debatable. I honestly might keep this order. However, I'm concerned about DeRozan being this low, so we'll see who has left.
So let's just talk about
see who has
the elephant
next
in the room when it comes to this part of the list, and that is Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is 47 on my list. Ben Simmons just last year was still in conversations for being a top 20 player in the league because of his impact on a lot of areas when it comes to basketball. But let's just stop, man. Let's just stop. Enough is enough. While yes, when you analyze his game, you can really see that his only weakness is shooting. But every single year, it has become the downfall of his team.
It's not even just shooting, it's scoring now.
Only weakness is shooting is really undermining the importance of shooting/scoring the basketball and what that means for the limitations of the lineups and scenarios Ben Simmons can succeed in.
It's like saying my biggest weakness in my game is dribbling, right? I'm not even 6 feet, chat. So imagine me, no tween, being out that bitch. I'm not even 6 foot. And let's say I had the bunnies, bro. Let's say I had the bunny. I had a 45-inch vert. So I'm out that motherfucking yam and shit. Let's say I was a fucking wide body ass non-6 footer. I'm built like a motherfucking refrigerator. I'm running niggas over and shit. Yada yada yada. I'm speed boosting all that shit. But I just can't dribble. That's wild, bro. That's wild, bro.
So let's just come to the reality that Ben Simmons was just never as good as we thought he was. And if I am proven wrong in the next year or two, then I will say I am wrong. But until then, Ben Simmons to me.
This nigga found a clip. This is what I struggle with. I don't be finding blunders, bro. I don't know if it's because I'm lazy. I don't be finding misses of niggas when I be slandering. I be slandering the motherfucker and they hit a half court shot. Like, I don't be finding them fucking up, bro. I don't be finding clips and niggas being trash while I slander them type shit. Like, how did you find this nigga missing a dunk, bro?
He's at 47. But anyways, let's talk about the other notable names in this part of the list. Michael Porter Jr. cracks the top.
He deserve it.
The first
MPJ deserve it.
After a season where he averaged 19 points and
if you got a dude that don't even need the ball scoring like that, he on there. He on
While
there.
his production didn't slip too bad in the playoffs as well. CJ McCollum is a player that moved down a decent amount to me, as his deficiencies as a defender just keep on getting more and more detrimental to his team's success. Malcolm Brogdon also finds himself in the top 50 after a season where he averaged 21, 6, and 5 on some really good shooting splits. Now let's move on to 40 to 31. At number 40, we have De'Aaron Fox.
Okay.
39, LaMelo Ball.
Okay.
38, Kyle Lowry.
Okay.
37, Brandon Ingram.
Okay.
36, Nikola Vucevic. 35, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
This nigga.
34, John
The wildest
Morant.
picture.
33, DeMontis Sabonis. 32, Julius Randle, and 31, Russell Westbrook.
Aye. Just keeping it 1,000. Look, oh my god, yeah. Now we got the names niggas somewhat care about for real. Like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm not about to go back and forth over a nigga for CJ McCollum. I just don't care about him. I just don't care about it, bro. Like I said, I believe the bottom row ain't even that trash. There's probably endless players who could have swapped out for the 10, so power to you. I'm gonna say DeRozan definitely should be up here. I think he's grossly underrated in this sense. Chat's raging about De'Aaron Fox. I would probably say De'Aaron Fox is the glaring one because I think Fox is... Look, Melo got the potential. He really do. He ain't better than Fox right now. I ain't gonna bullshit you. By the time next season starts, he might be. like no cap. But based off of last season, I have nothing to say that Fox is the worst player. However, LaMelo probably currently low-key just can't play because he ain't playing. Probably got it. So I'm not even triggered by that. LaMelo's potential is crazy. I do think he's a better talent than Kyle Lowry at this point in his career. I do think he's better than Brandon Ingram at this point. I've been adamant for Fox over Ja. I'm not triggered by it, but I could see that argument as well. It's not that bad outside of that. I think the biggest one that chat raging about it. Sometimes chat be sped, but nah, I'd probably say he lowballed Fox a little bit. Definitely better than LaMelo at the ending point of last season. Like I said, if he's predicting next season, oh yeah, I'm saying right now I would think LaMelo would be better than De'Aaron Fox by next season. They're not even that far off anyway, in my personal opinion. Then you got Lowry. I just think Fox is a better talent, like I just said. Ingram, same thing. Vooch, I think he bugging on Vooch a little bit, but like how high would I move him type shit? Like, okay, I think you're underrating Vooch necessarily. You're gonna move him 2 spots higher at max, like 3 spots higher at max. Sorry, like you could argue it with Randall, you could argue it with Russell. I'm not really tripping about Vooch for real. And then Ja, I value how Ja has that factor necessarily. Ja has that shit that you can't look at a stat sheet and talk about. He just got it, if that makes sense. But even then, I'd probably say Fox still got him. And then DeRozan, like I said, I think DeRozan definitely belongs somewhere on here anyway. But
call me crazy, man, but I am really high on LaMelo Ball. Unfortunately, the Charlotte Hornets were not able to make the playoffs last year, primarily due to LaMelo Ball suffering an injury in the middle of the season. But what LaMelo showed us after he was given the keys as a starter was phenomenal. To give y'all some perspective, in that stretch, LaMelo Ball averaged roughly 20 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, and had shooting splits of 46% from the field, 43% from 3, and 81% from the line. Also,
happy birthday, also Krillin a bitch.
John Morant.
Shout out everybody who says happy birthday, by the way. I'm not ignoring niggas. It's just a lot.
Showed in the playoffs.
But
if you look at
Krillin
John
the
Morant's
bitch.
regular
Krillin
season,
Solo's
you
your
can
favorite
actually make a
verse.
case that he played worse than his rookie year, but I just can't ignore what he did in the playoffs against one of the best defenses in the league and against a team with the best regular season record. John Morant in the first round averaged 30 points, 8 assists, and
he went
4
crazy. He went
rebounds,
crazy.
49% shooting from the field.
Losing effort, but he went crazy.
That's just insane. Also, comparing it to my list in November, Russell Westbrook moved down a decent amount as well, as before he was in the top 20 and now he's at 31. And that's primarily due to the fact that, in my opinion, he had a very up and down season in Washington. And for the most part, when you look at the season overall,
up and down is damn near the definition.
In Houston, Kyle Lowry moving down this much is more so a matter of other players just getting better than it is a knock on Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, I wasn't shocked.
I guess I don't want to spoil the next 10 too much, but this does mark the end of the first tier of this list, or last tier, depending on how you look at it. I feel like this tier consists of players who are undoubtedly good star level players in the league, however either have glaring weaknesses in their game, are more built to be third options on contending teams, or just haven't proven enough to move higher on this list. Now let's move on to the top 30. At 30, we have Jamal Murray. 29, Rudy Gobert. 28, Bam Adebayo. 27, Drew Holiday. 26, DeAndre Ayton. 25, Jaylen Brown. 24, Chris Middleton. 23, Zion Williamson. 22, Karl Anthony Towns. And 21, Bradley Beal. This is
all right. Let's see, who am I talking about? I could talk about Rudy Gobert. First of all, this picky as shit, but honestly, I'm being so serious. I think the blue tier should have started here with Sabonis. Like, let's say I wasn't to alter anything except the coloring, I would say this would be a blue tier. I think it's a somewhat creep between Sabonis and everybody else compared to everybody else below him. I would say that he's essentially the start of this blue tier. Y'all know I'm not big on Rudy Gobert. I would put him lower, but that's just me. I know some people, Rudy Gobert, the defensive anchor, like, okay, cool. Some niggas think Rudy's the GOAT, whatever, fine. I personally would have Rudy right around 34 to 36, especially if Vooch is 36. I think that's crazy. I ain't gonna lie, I'm definitely taking Vooch over Rudy, no question. Got Ayton up. I'm not mad at it necessarily, but it is something that I knew you'd take heat for. Ayton was on historic timing in the playoffs. He just had a really bad exiting party against a really good player. I'm not mad at it, but it is something that, you know, you're gonna get shit for. You're gonna get shit for it, bro. Until you prove you're right or wrong, you're gonna get shit for it. Russ, I know people are gonna be that mad about Russ. Honestly, the highest I could put Russ is probably right between Middleton and Zion. That's the highest I could do it. That's probably the highest I could do it with reason. But even then, I think that's a stretch. I don't think I'm taking Russ over some of these dudes, honestly. Put it this way: how many teams would rather have Drew than Russ, for example? That's kind of where my head is at. I kid you not. I'd say 20 of the 30 teams would prefer a guy like Drew Holiday over a guy like Russell Westbrook. But that's just my interpretation of it. So by that logic, I can see why he has him that low, especially considering how he's explained everything else. He's talked about team success being a huge part of his list. For example, Ben Simmons at 47, Draymond Green at 44, DeMar DeRozan, who I think is clearly better talented than some of the people above him, at 41. He does value team success to a degree, hence why LaMelo Ball's at 39. I'm not shocked that his list has it this way. For me, Russ fans are Russ fans. They're gonna be mad no matter what, but I'm not really triggered by it. Obviously, you can go back and forth with Russ and Jamal, Russ and Gobert, Russ and Bam, but once you get to Drew, and if you want to swap Ayton and Drew power too, but once you get to Drew really, and like Jaylen Brown and Middleton and stuff, I'm like, how mad are you, bro? Let's be honest. How mad are you? Cause if every team and every GM is like, yep, I want a 3-and-D guard, 3-and-D wing, 3-and-D wing, yeah, he's not better than any of those three. So if you want a 3-and-D wing, 3-and-D wing, 3-and-D guard, all elite at it, pretty much, how are you gonna be on dick? That's my whole take about the Rush.
This is where the extremely talented players,
I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it.
Meets the players.
I know Russ fans are gonna be mad at it, but I'm really not. I'm not mad at it at all.
Good playoff teams. After the championship run they just had, I just had to put some more respect on Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton. These are players that may not have the same name value of some other players in even this part of the list, but they literally just proved to me that they can at the very least,
shot less than 30%. He also defends exponentially better than Russ.
Caliber team.
No funny. I'm glad you're bringing up shooting percentages and then wanting a boost for Russell Westbrook. Never mind. You put that together. Never mind. You put that together.
We're that.
you put that together. Never mind.
Team. As far as my DM.
Never mind. You got it.
You know, honestly, that could bite me.
That nigga said, I want Russ boosted up. Let me bring up another player's efficiency.
Really effective. While having a scoring repertoire
that's really wild as shit, chat. Nah. 1 sec. Nah. I gotta rewind it because I wasn't paying this nigga no attention. Nah. That nigga really is mad Russ is low and is bringing up another player's shooting percentage. So I don't be reading chat all the time. That's wild as shit. That's some dumb ass shit. I ain't gonna lie. That's some dumb ass shit. But y'all got it.
These are players that
that's
may not
wild.
have the name value of some other players in even this part of the list, but they literally just proved to me that they can at the very least, be a second or third option on a championship caliber team and actually were that on a championship winning team. As far as my DeAndre Ayton placement, you know, honestly, that could bite me later down the line as a recency bias pick, but I truly do believe that DeAndre Ayton's ability to be a really effective pick and roll big while having a scoring repertoire that's just not putbacks and lay-ins at the efficiency he's doing it as well is a separator to me between the likes of a Rudy Gobert or a Adebayo. And I haven't even talked about his defensive capabilities as well. Also, despite Jaylen Brown being 4 spots away from players like Devin Booker, Trae Young, and Bradley Beal, I do believe that the order I decided to go with makes it seem like he's not, but I truly do believe he is in that class of players. And now we get into the top 20. At number 20, we have Trae Young, 19 Devin Booker, 18 Zach LaVine, 17 Jimmy Butler, 16 Chris Paul, 15 Kyrie Irving, 14 Paul George, 13 Donovan Mitchell, 12 Jason Tatum, and 11 Damian Lillard.
This is where niggas get controversial. I'ma keep it hot with you. If we valued team success this whole time, Zach LaVine ain't been that much better of a player to be over these two. Even if statistically he is better efficiently or whatever the fuck, I don't have their stats to memory honestly, but even if you believe that Zach LaVine was just a more efficient, better scorer, yada yada yada, that's fine. But based off the majority of the list, I ain't gonna cap my brother. You couldn't put Zach over them. You really couldn't put Jimmy Butler over them either, but you damn well couldn't put Zach over them. But I think that's the glaring one. Other than that, not mad at it. Yeah, I ain't mad at any of it else really. I ain't mad at nothing else for real. I ain't gonna bullshit you. I mean, do I agree with it all wholeheartedly? Nah. The only thing I say is glaring is I do think these two are a bit downplayed. I wouldn't say nothing like these two need to be up here. Nah, just a bit. I would say you could even argue LaVine in your 20. That's even fine. I would say at some point, nah, you couldn't go this far. I don't give a fuck what the numbers is, honestly. He wasn't that much better than either of them for him to be over them.
So let's talk about it.
Based off of this criteria.
Trae Young moved up tremendously to me after the playoff runs that they just had. We already knew that they were really talented players and they had the numbers to back it up, but for them to go out there in the playoffs and be pivotal parts to some really deep playoff runs was all the validation I needed for me to move them up this high. And a guy that I am willingly jumping the gun on, and I'll die on this hill until I'm proven otherwise, is Zach LaVine, and how I believe Zach LaVine is just as good as these guys despite not winning as much as them last year. Let me just remind you guys that Zach LaVine just came off a year where he averaged 27, 5, and 5 on insane 51, 42, 85 splits. In terms of scoring the basketball, those are Kevin Durant, Steph Curry-esque splits. Those are insane. But also as a community, if we were able to turn our heads more on the empty stats moniker that were given to Trae Young and Devin Booker because they were able to win when given the right pieces, I don't know why we can't also make that same leap for Zach LaVine and why we have to wait until he's put in that position instead of just making that claim right now. Donovan Mitchell rose a significant amount on my list as well.
Spoiler alert, he's gonna be high on my list as well. But don't
ever tell me Gobert is the best player on the Jazz.
He's gonna be pretty high on my list as well.
I don't know why we've been overthinking it too much. It's Donovan Mitchell's team. Jimmy Butler to me moved down a decent amount too after having a horrendous tremendous playoff series against the Bucks in the first round this year. He's still a great player. I'm not gonna say he's trash or anything like that, but I do think in retrospect, we did overrate him a little bit after the 2020 playoffs. It is what it is.
Who is we? I said the nigga like what, 15, 16, 17? Who is we? I told niggas to chill. Comparing him to a Paul George that sucks in the playoffs, oh yeah, give me Jimmy. That was it. But he ain't move up, but like a spot or two higher than I originally thought he was. I ain't think he was a playmaker. Who this down? Nah. Who is we? I was chilling.
It is what it is. But now let's get into my top 10, man. Let's get into my top 10.
Niggas was praying.
Anthony Davis.
Okay.
Number 9, Joel Embiid.
Okay.
Number 8, James Harden.
Okay.
Number 7, Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
Number 6, Luka Doncic.
Okay.
Number 5, Stephen Curry.
Okay.
Number 4, LeBron James.
Okay.
Number 3, Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
Kevin Durant.
Oh shit.
Giannis
Antetokounmpo. First things first, a nigga said last year I had Jimmy Butler over Jason Tatum. That was overrating them. They were comparable. In what one took a team to the finals, the other struggled. So I don't know what you want. Tatum got better this season. Yo, here come the L list, bro. Yeah. Go on, get it out. Get your rage out. Get your rage out. Everybody mad at something totally different. I'm seeing a lot of Kawhi. So y'all basically don't agree with Kawhi Leonard. Like all of y'all are split on Kawhi Leonard. Like y'all literally are just arguing between Kawhi, LeBron, Curry. Really, yeah, y'all are basically stuck here. Basically y'all are doing this and this. That's interesting within itself. Let's start off with 9 and 10. Ain't mad at it. Extremely comparable, especially the more research you do on either player. 80 overrated. He has 80 at 10. I mean, where do you want him to go? 20? I don't know. You got the 80 overrated take. Luka Jokic, I mean, argue with your mother. It's endless of time. Honestly, you just arguing back and forth. 1 7 foot can't move. The others 6, 7 can move a little bit. Like, yeah, it's cool, whatever. Go crazy. 5, 4, and 3. This is what you guys have been talking about the most. Some of you guys think it's LeBron, Kawhi, Curry. Some of you guys think it's Kawhi, Curry, LeBron. Some of you guys are LeBron, Kawhi, Curry, and then LeBron, Curry, Kawhi. Y'all are all over the place between 3, 4, and 5. Look, everybody between 1 through 5 you could argue is number 1. I think the hardest one to make a case for, not that he can't be. I just said everyone can be. I think the hardest one to make a case for number 1 is Kawhi, though. Because if your thing is the two-way thing, Giannis is right there. If your thing is offensive impact, my God, KD, Curry, hell, LeBron James are right there. Kawhi is like literally a mold, a somewhat hybrid of a combined, like all of them, but he's not. I'm saying this terribly. He's like a somewhat hybrid of what all of these guys bring to the table, but he's not peak for peak better at them at anything. Like the defense, give me Giannis. Scoring, give me KD. Playmaking, he kind of curb stomps everybody up here. And then shooting, obviously, give me Curry. Shoot again, playmaking, give me Curry. Making the argument for Kawhi to be the best player in the world, I think that's the hardest one to make. I think that's the hardest one to make. Obviously, KD and Giannis, it's not a secret. The world pretty much is on these two. It's also not a secret that the world is pretty much of the consensus that LeBron is not the best player in the world. I ain't gonna speak too much on that. But in terms of the top 5, ain't mad at it. In terms of 6 through 10, ain't mad at it really. You just playing Cupid Shuffle with the names, honestly. So I guess the question is, does anyone have anyone not in the top 10 in the top 10?
It ain't nothing, I want more.
Dame, Kyrie, Trey, CP3. All right, y'all are trolling now. Okay. It's really just Dame. I guess this will be the biggest leak. Nah. nah. I don't know why we do this every season. Nah. Dame probably ain't in my top 10. He's easy. Unless I wake up different, he ain't in my top 10 either, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Dame is like really good at basketball. Like, let's not get it twisted. Now I'm really looking at these motherfuckers. I ain't taking them over either of these two. No diff Harden. I'm taking Luka, taking Jokic. hell, Jokic beat him, and then the rest. Dame can't catch a break. I don't think it's about catching a break. I don't think it's about catching a break. We have 10 first ballot Hall of Famers in the league at the same time. I don't think it's about catching a break. We have legitimately, I'm a lowball it. Top 30, likely to be top 30 if he's not already. Top 3, top 15. Give him time. Likely in the top 30. Give him time and give him time. We got like the special of special talents in the league right now. Like, it's not about fuck Dame. It's nigga, this the league he playing in. This is the league he playing, and it's damn near you gonna have to get a resume to crack some. The only anomaly is Luka, and I have a whole video on that. Now, you know my brother BSOLZ, he fuck with Luka heavy. Do I got Luka at 6? I don't even know. What else am I thinking now that I'm looking over this entire list? There's one player on this list that I feel like I would change the most. In terms of making a statement in regards to it being my list, the name that probably gets the biggest change for me, like not comparing the old to the new, but like if you put someone here, you're making a statement about how you view basketball. I say a big change compared to this list would be the status of, I'd probably say Trey. I think I view Trey quite a bit differently than he does. In terms of tiers, saying these niggas on a whole different tier than these three is kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I can't say Paul and Jimmy are in a different tier than Zach, D-Book, and Trey, especially if you're sold on Zach. I couldn't do that. Based off of his list, if I'm not changing anything, I'm drawing a different tier right here. I'm saying this is pink, this is yellow, this could be like purple or some shit, and then you could start your dark blue from here all the way to here. Then this should be a separate tier, but obviously that's like making more tiers. Yeah, let's see what he says. Let's see him defend himself.
Man, my top 10 players in the league, and honestly my full top 50 list is right in front of your eyes, assuming everyone is healthy aside from Klay Thompson, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video. Look, I just want to say this. I think in all of my years watching the NBA and even studying the NBA landscape before, I started watching the NBA, I don't think the gap between the 10th best player in the league and the best player in the league has ever been this small. Let me just remind you guys that Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic, who I have at 7 and 9, were the two prime candidates for the MVP this year, with Jokic actually winning it. James Harden at some point this year
looked like the best player in the world.
MVP conversations and was considered the best player on the Nets at some point, with KD playing on the same team.
Yeah, nah, there was a whole month and a half where people was talking about, yeah, James Harden's the best player in the world. Now, I wasn't niggas, but it definitely was a thing. It damn well was a thing.
Anthony Davis, the last time we saw him fully healthy, was an arguable finals MVP and averaged 28 and 10 throughout that whole playoff run on 57, 38, 83 split.
Shit.
These are the type of players we have.
AD last seen healthy. AD last seen. Fuck last seen. AD last seen. That's why I say AD, in terms of reputations around him, like maybe not rankings, but in terms of reputation around him, AD got it from our underrated ship. In terms of last seen, AD was giving niggas 34. AD was giving niggas 34 with the backbone connected to the neck bone, the neck bone connected to the, like he was out there wilding.
But the back end of this top
34 and great defense all around.
Nah, on this top 10, a majority of y'all would actually agree with the general order of this list, and the fact that Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, and James Harden are more so in the 5 to 10 range than they are in the actual top 5. Now, I will say a big part of this order is primarily given the benefit of the doubt to what transpired just this year in the playoffs. But I'm telling you right now, these guys are all really close in my opinion. The only real distinction I made between tier 1 and tier 2 is that I believe the players in tier 1 actually have a legitimate argument for being the best player in the world, while the players in tier 2 have the talent to do so, but just don't really have an argument right now.
I agree. I'd agree. Regardless of the order, regardless if this is my top 5, would be the only players I could consider and make a case for being best player in the world. You could argue Curry. You could definitely argue LeBron. You could argue Kawhi. I think that's the hardest one too, but you could. You can clearly argue KD, and you can argue Giannis. Like, these are the common two. Kawhi, I called the hybrid. LeBron, you could easily just say he was injured, and prior to injury, everyone thought he was the best player in the world. And then Stephen Curry had the best season that couldn't win MVP. So like,
the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, because for the last 4 or 5 years, the conversation for the best player in the world has primarily been LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, and Kawhi Leonard. And right now, as you can see on your screen, I have one Giannis Antetokounmpo as the best player in the world. Look, if you walked up to me and said KD's better or Kawhi's better, I would not give you that much pushback. I just won't. I'd give a little bit more pushback if you came up to me and said,
I think KD can be anywhere from 1 to 7. Look, I know niggas like to argue, but that's insane.
the LeBron and Steph are better right now.
I know niggas like to argue, but that's insane.
I see it. But if you
I know that's probably the attention
what
take too.
Giannis
That's
needed
crazy.
to do to prove that he is the best player in the world, he did it. He did it. Yes, were there circumstances that may have aided him to get to the finals? Yes. But based off of the path he was given, the circumstances he was dealt with, he performed just as well as you can ask, if not more. Before we talk about the playoffs, let's talk about his regular season, because honestly, it's just been swept under the rug because he won the MVP the last 2 years and there was a lot of voter fatigue.
Yeah. Oh, well, he said shit. Never mind. I don't need to pause for real. Yeah, voter fatigue. The fact that Giannis' name never came up throughout the many MVP candidates was wild. Like, it was a whole fucking carousel due to injuries, which is unfortunate. And nobody brought up Giannis the whole season. I was like, okay.
But in the regular season, Giannis averaged 28 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists while shooting 57% from the field, playing all defensive first team caliber defense, and led the Bucks to the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference. And then he comes into the playoffs and elevates his performance from that already insane regular season, as he averaged 30 points, a playoff leading 13 rebounds a game, accompanied by 5 assists.
You think we've been talking about more if he didn't sign an extension? Probably.
Out that whole run. And
because if he doesn't sign an extension, trade rumors are around him, meaning they want his value pushed. So yeah, probably. I'd say he gets some media attention. I don't know about how much, because the media likes to do this thing where they downplay him. But at the same time, knowing Giannis Antetokounmpo's a free agent, MVP DPOI as a free agent is a thing. I'm not even gonna bullshit. It's like a 70% chance that it would be talked about a bit more. But I still don't think he would have won it.
more specifically in the NBA Finals.
Unless they really wanted that headline, which is possible.
Record on pace to win 50
of an MVP in free agency.
Had the third best defense in the playoffs and was just on a roll going into the finals. Giannis against that team in the finals averaged 35, 13, and 5 on 62% shooting from the field. Played all-time great defense. Came back from a 2-0 deficit and dropped 50 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 blocks in the closeout game. And mind you, I don't want this to get swept under the rug, but this is in a season where he chose to stay in Milwaukee instead of attempting to form a super team like KD, Kawhi, LeBron, and Steph have done at some point in their career. That is why Giannis, to me,
but I ain't gonna be
as of July 22, 2021, is the best player in the NBA. Go crazy in the comment section, man. Go crazy. If anything, I encourage you.
This thumbnail is cursed. I don't give a fuck. This thumbnail is cursed. There we go. There we go. Shout out my brother. Shout out my keep it a buck brother. Always on timing. Your top 10 ain't even shit. Your top 10's common as hell, whether people want to cap on it or not for Dame. Damn near everybody's top 10. OSN, you were my first stream W in terms of uploading the channel. OSN was the first stream I ever uploaded to YouTube. All right, OSN, talk to me.
Yeah, I got the cannon. If a nigga talk too much, I gotta blame him. I wonder where the hate come from. Gotta be a dum-dum undercover someone. You one of my children. Is it the paper, the moolah, the haters, the rumors, the leaked news of me and your shorty in Kama Sutra? I might just shoot you. Guns blazing, my little Ruger. It's not a blooper. In the Honda, I just maneuver.